Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. Today I am working with the gorgeous new Felicity Jane collection. This is the Jill kit, and I am putting together a few pages for my daughter's first baby album. So you guys have seen, if you watch my YouTube videos or if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen lots of photos printed and put into traveler's notebooks and my project life, but this is kind of the very first formal album. I mean, I say formal, it's not really formal, but my first pocket page album that I'm recording her first year in. So I'm excited to finally get this started. I've had this in my head for quite some time, but I didn't really know where to start or what I wanted to do, and I finally have an idea. So I am putting together some pages that are roughly 4¼ inches wide by 8¼ inches tall. So that's about the size of a traveler's notebook page. I don't know why these pages feel so different to put together than a traveler's notebook. I mean, it is the same size, but for some reason, just having them as separate pieces as opposed to dealing with the spine in the middle just somehow seems very different. So I'm kind of getting used to that. It's fun, but it's just very different. So I am going to end up using those alphas for my title in a little bit, but I decided to leave them off for now. I'm going to go ahead and work on my photo pages, and then I'll come back to my journaling. So I'm just laying out these photos. These are small, I want to say they're 2-inch photos, roughly 2 inches, and I'm laying them out in sort of a loose grid format across my pages. I have 3 for each page, and I'm just backing a couple of them using some of this pattern paper from the Jill collection. I just wanted to bring in a little bit of color. I didn't have enough room to back all my photos, but that's okay because I really just wanted to highlight a couple of the close-ups of my daughter. This whole page is kind of about her love of books and how she's been choosing them over her toys. When I present her with a box full of toys and books, she always goes for the books. And I thought that it was just kind of a texture thing to begin with, that she loved sort of the feel of the cardboard, but she started bringing them to us and almost like she wants us to read the story, and she gets kind of into it, and she loves those sort of pop-up books and interactive ones, and she gets just really excited. So I love seeing that excitement from her with books, and I definitely wanted to document that story as kind of a 10-month milestone story. So my 4¼ by 8¼ page is actually from the Essentials line from Felicity Jane. So these papers released in January along with the Jill collection, and it's basically a grid on one side and then a dot grid on the other. So perfect for those background pages or just a very simple layout. I loved kind of having that as my foundation, and it was really nice to be able to kind of build off of that very basic background. So I stamped out one of those gorgeous florals from the stamp set that came in that collection, just to kind of peek out from behind my photo cluster. And now I'm just going through some of the die cuts and the bits and bobs that came in the kit, just to bring in a little bit more color and some words. And I'm going to have a tag underneath one of my photos, just kind of tying in little pieces. I didn't want it to be too busy, but this is always the fun part of just kind of dressing up the page. So I'm even going through some of the acetate shapes, just looking for something small, and I'm going to end up using that little heart border on one of my pages. So I'm going to start adhering everything down. I felt like this was looking a little bit too plain, so I am keeping in mind that I want to have a piece of colored cardstock to back these full pages. So I'm putting my photos kind of close to each other right now. That way I can actually trim these full pages down and then add a piece of cardstock behind it just to add a pop of color. Adding a couple of tiny attacher staples, of course. And here is where I'm going to bring in my cardstock. I love this mustard yellow, and I feel like it ties in the yellow from the acetate or the vellum sheet very well. So it kind of ties the journaling together with the photo pages. And I am going to incorporate the scallop edge, which I love so much. I think these are so convenient. It's just a brilliant design to have this scalloped edge on the cardstock pieces that come in the Felicity Jane kits. I've used it so many times in my traveler's notebooks, and I'm going to incorporate it here. I'm going to use the scallop on the top of one of my pages, and then it's going to be on the bottom of the opposite page. So just trimming it down, making sure that it fits. I just think that this little detail of adding the mustard yellow background added so much to these pages. It just really kind of pops off as opposed to just being a little bit more bland. So that's pretty much it for my photo pages. I'm going to adhere them down onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to move on to my journaling. So I'm really enjoying working on these pages. I'm just at the very start of this album, so I haven't figured out all of the details yet. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go between page sizes. I'm planning to use a 6x8 album, although I haven't selected what album I'm going to use yet. But I'm thinking using a variety of different size page protectors, and then having some of my pages, probably my journaling, outside of the pockets, and then intermixing them in with the pockets would be kind of fun, kind of like December daily-ish, sort of that vibe. I don't know though, we'll see how this kind of comes together, but that's just kind of my initial thought with planning this out. So I'm going to try to figure out what to do on my journaling page here. And I made kind of a funny decision here. I chopped off the side of this vellum piece, thinking that I wanted that page to be a little bit shorter. But then I immediately regretted it because I realized that that is where I wanted to have my title. So I'm trying to figure out what to do here, and what I decided to do is reattach that piece using a piece of grid washi tape. So I'm actually really happy that I did this and that I made that mistake, because it did get me to put that washi tape down, and I feel like this washi actually kind of grounds the title that I end up putting on top of it. So sometimes those little accidents are a good thing, and that washi tape is super handy. I use it all the time. It's kind of one of my essentials. And by the way, I will have everything that I'm using in this video linked in the description box below. So if you want to pick up anything that you see here, you can have kind of easy access to all of those links down there. But I am spelling out Little Reader using these puffy white alphas from the Jill kit. And of course, she's not reading yet. She's too young, but I'm hoping to build or grow a little reader, and I'm hoping that her love of books is going to continue to grow, and she will be a happy little reader as she gets older. So I used my T-ruler just to evenly space out my letters and to get them centered on there. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to punch holes in my journaling vellum piece, and then I will put my photo papers into page protectors. I'm going to stamp a couple of sentiments onto my journaling card here, and then that will do it. So I hope that you enjoyed this process video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel if you're new, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!